parents!
Yeah.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we're here. We're excited to talk to you guys about being parents.
Yeah. Right now we're talking about maternity leave, so we thank you for coming in. What does that look for?
What look was I giving you?
You looked like you were giving me a stare. Anyway, we're 22 parents. You've probably gotten the gist by now.
You should know by now. Yeah, thanks for watching the videos, guys. Leave a like, subscribe.
Leave a like.
Leave a like. That's what people say on YouTube.
Do they really?
She doesn't even watch YouTube, guys. Hit the notification bell if you want to see our videos on time as they come out. It'll let you know, pops up on your phone that we posted. So it's kind of nice. Everybody's busy and whatnot. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk more about maternity leave and everything going on with that.
Yeah, you said you wanted to dive into going to church for the first time.
Oh my goodness, yes. So let's set the scene here because you brought your kid home. You've now dealt with them for how long was it for us? We went back pretty quick. I want to say it was like 3 or 4 weeks later.
No, it was not. Oh, maybe it was 3 weeks because we were in the hospital until Saturday. We definitely knew we weren't going to do the following Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know if we did the next Sunday. I think we wanted to, and it just wasn't working out. It didn't
work out.
So we waited. So it would have been 3
weeks. We went on a Saturday night for the first time.
Yes.
That's what we did.
But I'm thinking weekends.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyways, essentially, you're taking care of your child and whatnot at home, and we've kind of covered all of the intricacies of that. But going out to an event for the first time is tough. And obviously at church, there are moments that are allowed, like during worship and whatnot, and the greeting. But then there's the preaching where everyone needs to be quiet. And having a baby and doing that is tough. I remember my biggest thing when we were experiencing that was I was waiting at any moment for her to start crying. And I was going to be out the door. I was like, let's sit in the back. Let's sit on the edge of the row to give us access to the aisle. And then I was like, I'll have the baby bag on my back ready to go. Because for me, it's just how I am. I don't like things to be disturbed. And I feel bad if it's coming from me or from, my family or whatnot. So, yeah.
It was funny to watch because you're very attentive in church. And so I have never seen you look away more than the first time we brought her to church. Because it was just about every 2-3 minutes you would be like, is she okay? Okay, we're good.
Is she fine?
Is she okay?
Pacifier
okay, we're good. Pacifier is good.
Yeah.
Oh, she's sleeping? Okay, we're good.
We're fine.
Yeah.
But even then, and even if it was okay, I would try to tune back into the message, and I'm still thinking about oh, is she good? And then another thing that we decided to do, at least, and I think it's pretty common, but we put headphones on her.
Our church is allowed.
We have a loud church,
which is fine. Yeah. Honestly, I really enjoy it.
It's so great, but
it would be very damaging to her young ears.
We're dealing with tiny ears. Yeah, so. We're talking about very loud, like volume of, the decibels are up high, and she's 3 weeks old at that point. We're not going to be letting her listen to, someone shred the guitar at super, super high volume. So, and we love it. Like we said, it's, we love that our church decides to do that, but we want to protect our kids' eardrums. So we had to put this set of strap around earmuffs on, basically headphones, and they were kind of a hassle because it was
of course she didn't like them.
No, definitely not. And they would slip off, or they'd be in the way, or she would try to lay her head down on your chest or my chest sometimes, and it's the headphones are in the way. So I'm actually shocked that it worked as well as it did.
Yeah, honestly, it did work well.
Because in my head, I'm thinking she is never going to sleep with these things on. But it worked. Sometimes we'd have to take her out in the back. And I remember, at one point, it's just in the hallway, trying to listen, just rocking her, which was honestly a sweet moment. But it's a lot to get to church, dude.
And it definitely wasn't perfect every time.
No.
The first time was great. And honestly, I think it gave us too much hope. Because it went so well.
We got bamboozled.
And then 2 weeks later, it was very difficult.
Very difficult, yeah.
And so it was definitely an experience to maneuver and learn how to go through. But it was worth it. Especially because I think the longer we would have waited, the harder it would have been to go
Yeah,
back.
it would have been tough.
I'm also a person who doesn't sit at home well. Especially if we don't have anything to do. If you don't know me, I cannot sit still for long. That face says it all. And so I was very anxious to get back to church as shortly after she was born, which is one of the reasons we went back so quickly.
Yeah.
It was honestly just for my own sanity.
No.
And we went to Saturday night services because they're much less occupied. And so it was winter time. Everyone's getting sick. We wanted to expose her to the least amount of germs possible.
So true.
While still
it's flu season.
Bringing her to church. And so
yeah,
that was an experience in and of itself. But it was good.
Mm.
How long did we wait until we started going to the Sunday morning again?
Not too much longer than that. I'd say maybe a few weeks later, right?
It was at least a month.
Was it?
Yeah.
It wasn't that much later though.
No.
Yeah, maybe she was 2 months old at that point.
Something like that.
Because that's a whole different thing, because you're not, you're coming in the morning, which is another thing, and it's we had to keep her in a much more packed service. So it's just like, it just becomes, it's just a different thing, different monster. But it was good. And I think she did well for the most part, I'd say.
She did great. As a newborn, she did great.
Yeah, from what I remember, we have this mentality of like, we're just going to go for it sometimes and just try it out. Like, why? You know what I mean? We understand that it can be difficult to take your kids with you to certain scenarios, certain events, dinners, churches, but we're just going to give it a shot. And we just took her to a wedding the other day, and it was difficult, but we were there, we didn't stop ourselves from going, so.
A big part of that is simply because we don't have family close by.
True.
And so it's funny because someone remarked on how many different places we bring her.
Yeah.
They just said it haphazardly.
Haphazardly, yeah.
And it was fine. It didn't bother us. It was just, it made us think about the fact that, well, we don't have a place to put her, so she has to come along with us.
It's out of necessity, yeah.
And so I think it'll be good for her character down the line that she's used to that. Yeah. It's just our lives are a little bit harder for that, and that's okay. We do just fine.
It can be a bit tiring sometimes, but we, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that hopefully she'll kind of develop a more flexible attitude or whatnot later on.
I think she will,
because of all these experiences now. Because she's been on planes multiple times, which is another adventure that we could talk about in a different video.
And road trips.
Oh my goodness! I apologize to my parents right now for all the years that you had to take me on a road trip with you as a baby, because I don't know how you did it. That was a tough thing to do, and we've only done that there and back, right? Just one road trip. No, two. We did
two road trips, yes.
And, man, fly every time, y'all. Just take the baby on the flight. If you're scared, close your eyes. I don't know. Just fly. Because road trips are different with a baby. And I think it's, we'll talk about that later. We
can say that for another time. But that was a whole different adventure.
Yeah. But no, we're not going to we're going to go. We're going to try the thing. We're going to take Eliza with us. And I think she appreciates it too. I mean, we still stick to her routine,
as best as we can.
As best as we can. If she needs to be in bed by a certain time, we'll leave the event early. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to hold ourselves back from certain things because we have a kid. It's going to be tough, but we're going to go.
Yeah.
So.
I would say we have come to a place where we found a good line between what we need and what she needs.
I think so.
In terms of activity versus routine.
Yeah.
And I think everyone is doing well with the place that we have landed.
Yeah, people are respecting that. And I do appreciate our friends and family for respecting that. Because sometimes it is an event that, is in support of someone else, and we might have to go early, and it's just like, it's just our situation right now. In 2 years, we'll be there the whole time, you know what I'm saying? Because she's going to be a toddler.
Unless we have another one. He doesn't like it when I remind him of that.
I always forget about that. I think you just take life as it goes, and you adjust, and you just keep moving, and if you can do that well, I think anyone can be a parent in that sense. Huge segue, sorry guys. But the church trip was good, and I think she's now, in nursery, which we can also talk about in detail more later. So we're enjoying our services as is, which is nice. And she's loving, the time with the other kids there too. But.
Yeah, and even something to just hit real quick. Sometimes services for me were spent in the nursing room because
True.
that's all that she took a long time to eat when she was young.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were definitely services that I spent just about the entire time in there because she was hungry and you can't not feed your kid. And I'm so grateful that our church even has a nursing room because that's not available to everyone. So yeah, obviously that was a bit hard, but I knew it was a season, and I knew the season wouldn't last forever. That helped me get through those moments. So
yeah, no, I think it was great. I do appreciate you doing that because you would miss the whole sermon. I mean, there was a TV in there, I guess, but
there
it's not
is.
the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. So, yeah, we just need that in our lives, and so we had to just, we wanted to go for it earlier rather than later. So, but yeah, that was a church trip. Should we take another break?
Sure, let's take a break.